You're a lead designer at Samsung's headquarters in Suwon, South Korea. For months, your entire team has been laser-focused on one device, the Samsung Galaxy S26 Edge. This wasn't just another phone. Internally, it was pitched as the device that would redefine the Galaxy S lineup, a bold new curved display, a fresh identity, and a design that could bring back the excitement of the early Edge days. The prototypes are ready. The marketing decks are done. Global ad campaigns are being drafted. You can almost see the headlines. Samsung Galaxy S26 Edge, the comeback of the curve. And then the call comes down from the top. The Edge is canceled. Overnight, years of planning are thrown into chaos. Your team is ordered to pivot to a Galaxy S26 Plus, a phone that wasn't even part of the original roadmap. There's no time to design a brand new display from the ground up. No time to rethink the entire hardware stack. So what do? You reach into the past to try and save the future. This is the story behind the Samsung Galaxy S26 series, the Galaxy S26, Galaxy S26 Plus, and Galaxy S26 Ultra, based on leaks, internal reports, and early production details that are starting to surface right now. And in this video, we're breaking down everything: the canceled Galaxy S26 Edge, the last-minute switch to the S26 Plus, the camera and display upgrades on the S26 Ultra, the controversial S Pen changes, and what all of this means if you're thinking about upgrading in 2026. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about what's actually launching. For months, we've heard rumors about a Galaxy S26 Edge and even a Galaxy S26 Pro. Some leakers claimed Samsung was expanding the lineup. Others said they were testing experimental models again. But according to leaked promotional material from Samsung Colombia, the final launch lineup is much simpler and much more familiar. At launch, Samsung is sticking to 3 models: Samsung Galaxy S26, Samsung Galaxy S26 Plus, Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra, no Galaxy S26 Edge. No Galaxy S26 Pro. At least not at first. Those fancier names are completely off the table for the initial release. And that tells us a lot about Samsung's strategy. On paper, this looks like Samsung playing it safe. 3 phones, 3 familiar price points, 1 clear message. But behind the scenes, things are anything but simple. Let's rewind to that canceled phone, the Samsung Galaxy S26 Edge. According to recent reports, the Galaxy S26 Edge wasn't just an idea, it was deep into development. Samsung had already invested in custom display panels, marketing concepts, and positioning it as the futuristic curved flagship for 2026. And then, very late in the process, Samsung canceled it. What makes this even more dramatic is when the pivot happened. Multiple sources say the decision to replace the S26 Edge with the Galaxy S26 Plus came extremely late in the development cycle. That's why internally, the company is reportedly in something close to a scramble right now, racing to ensure the Galaxy S26 Plus is ready in time for its expected unveiling next month. And the biggest headache? The screen. Here's where the display drama really kicks in. Originally, Samsung developed a new premium display panel just for the Galaxy S26 Edge, a panel that was supposed to deliver a more dramatic curve and an even more immersive viewing experience. Once the Edge was canceled, Samsung considered reusing that shiny new Edge display on the Galaxy S26 Plus. On paper, that sounds perfect. Take the advanced Edge panel, drop it onto the Plus, and you instantly have a more premium mid-tier flagship. But that's not what happened. For reasons that haven't fully leaked yet, likely cost, yield rates, or design constraints, Samsung ultimately decided not to use the new Edge panel on the S26 Plus. And because the decision to switch to the Plus came so late, there simply wasn't enough time left to design a completely new display panel from scratch just for that model. So what's the result? According to insiders, the Samsung Galaxy S26 Plus will ship with a display that's almost identical to the current Galaxy S25 Plus. Same panel class. Very similar underlying technology. Maybe slightly refined front glass, maybe a few tuning tweaks, but not the big leap forward many were hoping for. So if you were expecting the Galaxy S26 Plus to bring a major jump in display tech, based on the original Edge rumors, temper your expectations. Under the hood, it could feel more like a refined S25 Plus than a revolution. Is the Galaxy S26 Edge dead forever? Not necessarily. While it's clearly not part of the initial Galaxy S26 lineup, there's still a real chance Samsung could bring the Edge concept back later, either as a limited edition, a regional variant, or an experimental mid-cycle release, similar to how they've handled special models in the past. Samsung has a long history of testing the waters with new form factors and niche devices. So don't be shocked if we see an Edge-style model appear quietly later in the year, especially if market demand for something more visually distinctive starts to grow again. For launch, though, what you'll see on shelves is simple: S26, S26 Plus, and S26 Ultra. Now let's talk sizes and displays across the lineup. Starting with the base model, the vanilla Samsung Galaxy S26 is getting a size bump. The display is expected to measure around 6.27 inches, up from the 6.16-inch panel on the Galaxy S25. That might not sound like a huge difference on paper, but in the hand, it can make the phone feel meaningfully larger and more immersive without jumping into plus territory. This is Samsung's way of giving the base Galaxy S26 a bit more screen real estate for content, gaming, and multitasking without making it too unwieldy. Now, that abandoned Galaxy S26 Edge panel, we can only speculate. Last year, both the Galaxy S25 Plus and the Galaxy S25 Edge were expected to feature 6.7-inch displays. Maybe Samsung planned something similar this time. Maybe they had additional display upgrades lined up. We may never know the full story. What we do know, based on current leaks, is that Galaxy S26, slightly larger screen than S25, around 6.27, Galaxy S26 Plus. Very similar panel to the S25, likely around 6.7, with only minor improvements. Galaxy S26 Ultra, the true display showcase, with next-gen AMOLED tech and a new privacy feature. And that brings us to the star of the show, the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. Before we dive into the Ultra specs, there's one more behind-the-scenes detail that says a lot about Samsung's priorities. Production. According to a report from the Elec, the Galaxy S26 Ultra went into commercial production last month, earlier than its siblings. There are two main reasons for this. The S26 Ultra is essentially the phone it was always meant to be. It's not a last-minute replacement like the S26 or a canceled concept like the S26 Edge. Its development path has been much more stable. Samsung is clearly prioritizing components for the Ultra. When you look at the internal production targets, it becomes very obvious. Right now, the reported targets are around 3.6 million Galaxy S26 Ultra units, about 700,000. Galaxy S26 units, the base model, around 600,000 Galaxy S26 Plus units. Those numbers are expected to shift in February. Samsung will reportedly ramp up production of the base S26 and S26 Plus as they get closer to launch, while slightly dialing back Ultra manufacturing once they've secured an initial global stock. But the message is clear. Samsung expects the Galaxy S26 Ultra to do the heavy lifting for the entire S26 series, both in terms of sales and in terms of brand image. So let's break down what makes the S26 Ultra so important. Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra camera upgrades that actually matter. If you've been following leaks, you've probably seen people say that the Galaxy S26 Ultra won't be a huge upgrade in every area. And that's partially true. A lot of the sensors are reportedly similar to the Galaxy S25 Ultra, But the way those sensors are used is changing in a big way.